I'm going to the next demo, which is Miles Gisnanan from Perficient. So Miles, I'm going to stop to share my screen and you can start the Taleo analytic demo.
Thank you, Ben. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to demo the Perficient's Taleo Recruitment Analytics solution. And just to introduce myself, so my name is Miles Gisnanan. I'm the Practice Director for Oracle Analytics at Perficient. Now this solution was built on Oracle Analytics Cloud and Autonomous Data Warehouse. So let's get right into it. First, I want to mention the data. So we brought in a lot of good recruiting data from Taleo. In terms of base data, we brought in all the requisition information, all the information about openings. There can be more than one opening per requisition. We brought in all the information about the events against those openings, all the events. And we also brought in all the information about the applicants. In addition to that, in terms of slicing and dicing the data, which is critical, we have a lot of ways to slice this up. So we can analyze the data. I'll just list a few: by business unit, department, location, recruiter, hiring manager, job, recruiting channel, stage of the recruiting process, age of the requisition, ethnicity of the applicant, gender of the applicant, and whether the applicant can work remotely or not, which of course is important in COVID-19. So there's a lot in there, and let's jump in. On the executive summary tab, you can see here, we start off with some key metrics that indicate the health and efficiency of the talent acquisition process. On the left-hand side, we have applicants by recruiting stage, and that's really vital. Our customers always want to know where each applicant is in the stage and how long it takes to get through each of those. You can configure these. You don't have to use these labels. Top recruiters, you'll see a lot of color in Oracle Analytics Cloud. At first, you may not know what the color is, but over time, color becomes a very, very quick way to convey meaning. Here, darker is better. Average days open is darker. So Gupta is our top recruiter. We've got a process to age the requisitions. You don't want them hanging out there too long. Speaking of that, we all know there are hiring managers that sit on their requisitions. We've got that. We've also got a heat map to show diversity, particularly selection ratio. That's the ratio of hires to applicants. If you get a lot of applicants, but you're not really getting any hires, that can indicate an issue. So here, darker is better, meaning the ratio is better. And if you hover over, you can see we've got 865 applicants with 31 hires. So that's a pretty good ratio, and that's why it's dark. At the other end of the spectrum, we've got no hires with a bunch of applicants. Now, recruiting is still kind of a local game. Even in the days of COVID, people live somewhere and we recruit somewhere. So on this slide, we're going to see some information. We're using this use as filter. So if I click on Dallas, all of these visualizations are going to be filtered for Dallas. And I'll just explain some of the information here that we've got in. So this dark blue line indicates those requisitions where remote work is required. And the light blue shows candidates for that requisition that are able to do remote work. So it looks like a good ratio there. Yeah, and we can't assume that people can do remote work. We've got absences versus openings. Now, absences probably would come from your core HCM system, but we have another module that uses the same data model. So we can compare absences by city to openings by city. If you're having a lot of absences, you might want to look at some openings. I've got external recruiting channels. Needless to say how important this is. You need to know where you're getting your good candidates, and you need to know where you're getting candidates that fit with your culture. And then it's best to follow those candidates through a couple years in career progression so you can get quality of hire. Okay, moving along, we've got recruiting by department. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to do that. I can just click here, use as filter. And now anything I filter on here, all these visualizations. So there's no coding involved or anything like that. And we see the internal mobility channel here, very important. Got our hiring canvas. So look, recruiting is about hiring. At the end of the day, you want to hire the right people that are going to be with your company for as long as possible and add value. So we've got what's called a tag cloud here. The larger the text, the larger the number. And this is easily changed, very easily changed. I can just click if I wanted to turn it into a table. Got external hiring channel where we're driving things down to the job and channel level. So we can see where the patterns are developing. Darker means there are more hires there in respect to the applicants. And then we've also got a diversity dashboard. And we really like this heat map. So we're driving diversity down to the job, gender, and ethnicity level. So this heat map is going to tell you what the selection ratio is by job, by gender and ethnicity. So very easy to see where patterns are developing, where issues might be arising. And then lastly, what I wanted to show you is, Ben showed, hey, look how easy it is, and the data. It's so important, the data that you have. Now, if you've got good, rich data, you want to analyze it, you want it to be easy to analyze. So if I click in, if I just type in number of openings here and select this metric, again, it's machine learning in the background. It's going to generate that. If I type in location, then it's going to show me openings by location. So say location name. And then lastly, job. It's going to show me, now it's going to run these queries in the background. I don't really have to do anything. It's not difficult. I can sort if I want, and then just click here, and I can be off for more analysis. I can add more visualizations, more canvas. So that's our solution. Thank you, Ben.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Miles. Same thing, if you want to connect with Miles, take a screenshot, connect on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Miles is posting almost every day some amazing solution. So feel free to contact with him.